Andrew.
Steven.
Cinnamon roll. In this episode, we're gonna be trying 3 different cinnamon rolls in 3 different cities, and as always, from least expensive to most.
For our first stop, we're headed to Pismo Beach,
Central Coast, California.
We're going to Old West Cinnamon Rolls, owned by Cindy and her husband Joe. This is a Pismo Beach institution feeding countless cinnamon rolls to beachgoers for many decades. So we're showing up bright and early to chat with Nivea, the head baker. She gets there before 4 a.m. to start making cinnamon rolls. We're gonna learn about the process and get one from the first batch.
And we're gonna be having their original cinnamon roll, no frosting, no toppings, $4.
Nivea, thank you so much for joining us this early in the morning. I know this is like every day for you, but what is happening right now?
We are starting off our day. We are getting the dough going. We are making sure that Pismo is set with rolls once the sun comes up. When we have somebody waking up with their sleepy eyeballs, they can come in here and get their kick of sugar for the day.
It's kind of wild, right? Like, you guys are serving cinnamon rolls all day, every day. I'm just trying to wrap my head around like that many people want cinnamon rolls all the time.
Yes, they come, it's year round. We're open almost every day of the year. I think just the fact that it's made right in front of you, you can see the process of it, you can see how we're making them, and they're made with love. And we want to spread that kindness and sweetness to everyone. So I just love seeing the magic happen.
Walk us through how cinnamon rolls are made here.
So we start off by making our dough and we let it rise. So proofing is very important. So getting that gluten to activate to get that nice, sticky, soft dough. And then we roll it by hand to get it into a very nice rectangle because it's all about the shape that we do. And then our nice pieces of margarine, we cut it into thirds, and then we use a butter cutter to cut those thirds into small little pads of margarine. Then we spread it out by hand, kind of like poker chips, and we get it going all throughout the dough. Then we get nice fat scoops of sugar. The sugar, it's like whatever the baker thinks. We measure with our heart with the sugar. And it's a cinnamon roll, so we gotta put enough cinnamon, which is a really good cinnamon as well. We kind of flip it over like in a third, and then we put more sugar, more cinnamon, flip it again, and we get this beautiful little S shape inside of our rolls because they're super sweet rolls. So you got the nice S in there, right? That's a 12-foot table, and the roll will go all the way across and kind of L shape, and then we cut them by hand. We get about 80 cuts from our 13-foot log. Once we put them in our pans, we'll let them proof one more time. And that second proofing process is very important. If not, you have some really dense rolls that we do not want.
So what's on the menu? What can you order here?
So we have our original, which is just a cinnamon roll, no frosting, nothing. Then we have our cream cheese roll, which has our cream cheese frosting. We also have our maple bacon, our pecan, which is one of our best sellers. We have our almond, which I love. That's my favorite. I don't know why people don't order enough almond here, but then it saves more for me, which is fun. And we also have a cherry roll.
Cherry on a cinnamon roll seems kind of random to me. Why does the flavor work?
It's the tartness. It's such a sweet cinnamon roll. This is what I do too. I'll do the cream cheese frosting on an almond roll and like a quarter size of cherry. Just this little dollop, tiny, 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 and it's so good. They call it the Nivea roll because when they come up to my table and ask me what my favorite roll is, I'll tell them it's the almond roll with just a little bit of cherry, just tiny, tiny bit.
To you, what makes a perfect cinnamon roll?
A perfect cinnamon roll would be fluffy and gooey with extra sugar and butter on top, which is this delicious, almost like a sauce that goes in it. And there's something between the cinnamon and sugar, the marriage of them that makes such a gooey, sticky deliciousness, and the love also that we put into it. So we can't make angry rolls. We're making them with lots of love and smiles. So.
That's perfect.
You know those things that take 5 minutes to do, but somehow live on your to-do list for 6 months? For me, making a doctor's appointment has always been one of those things. Not because I don't care about my health. It's just that the whole process of finding somebody, checking my insurance, calling offices, and hoping they have availability, it's all a bit overwhelming. And that's why I've been using today's sponsor, ZocDoc. It's a free website and app where you can search and compare local, in-network doctors, read reviews from real patients, and see actual appointment availability before you book. Now recently, I've been trying to find a doctor who can help me navigate my ADHD. With ZocDoc, I was able to find an appointment pretty fast without playing phone tag or waiting on hold. And with more than 150,000 providers across 200 specialties in all 50 states, the process of finding a doctor has gotten so much easier. Taking care of your health is important, and honestly, just clicking the link below is a great first step. Head to ZocDoc.com/AndrewStephenAdam to get started today, and finally check that appointment off your to-do list. Thank you, ZocDoc, and now back to the show.
Cheers, Steven. We're here, Old West Cinnamon Roll, right before they open.
That's right, it's 6 a.m. in the morning at Pismo Beach.
Okay.
I felt the news anchor in me.
you broke into news anchor. It's 6 a.m. in Pismo Beach.
You just
we're here at Old
narrated
West Cinnamon
what we're doing.
Rolls. Also, it's funny that in my mind, a cinnamon roll is a round
It's
shape.
a circle usually because it's a roll.
The squish of the shape. Something about like, do you want to see a baby's cheeks when they're full and round, or do you want to see them like mid-squish? I don't know if this really occurred to me. Are all cinnamon rolls served upside down? Like when this came out of the oven,
Right.
the pan was flipped over.
It was like this,
Yeah.
but now it's served like this. Yeah.
At the very least, not all cinnamon rolls are served this way.
There's the top right there. Or
Right.
bottom.
Cheers, Steven.
Cheers.
It is so pleasantly warm.
And it's so gooey. Not even any frosting in here to make it gooey.
Do you know the term warming spices?
Yes.
It's like this is warm and it's warming me, but also cinnamon
has a warming sensation.
has a warming sensation.
Yes. Okay, first of all, I did not think that you'd be pinching my cheeks this morning, but that pinch feeling
Yeah.
is the feeling of the cinnamon rolls.
So we had the original. Here we have the Nivea special.
Cheers.
Cheers, Steven.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
This frosting and this cherry transform the cinnamon roll to cake.
You often don't get to eat cake warm, right? Do you eat a
Yeah.
frosted cake that's warm?
I see what you're saying. Yeah, these they come out of the
Yeah.
fridge. It's so nice. It's like the warm towels for you that when you eat at at a restaurant. It's like, oh, whoa! I was washing my hands in cold water, but now I'm really warmed up.
A cinnamon roll is the warm towel of desserts.
Wow. The cherry's really good with it.
And you should eat this one where you.
Oh my God.
Those cinnamon rolls felt like I was holding a football. I just wanted to chuck it into my mouth, of course.
So we tried Nivea's favorite cinnamon roll, almond with cherry on top.
The best.
I have an interesting fact about that.
Ooh.
So, the same chemical compound that's found in cherry pits is also found in almonds, which is why artificial cherry is often made from that compound taken from almonds. It's called benzaldehyde.
Benzaldehyde.
So if you've ever had like a sip of cherry Coke and for a split second thought, does this taste like almonds? That might be why.
Gotcha.
Well, we're on our way to our next cinnamon roll. It's called All About the Cinnamon in the Sherman Oaks neighborhood of Greater LA. We're gonna be chatting with Lindsay about how their cinnamon rolls are made. Every cinnamon roll is named after a famous rapper and has a unique, fun topping on it. For example, the Little Kim has fruity pebbles and fresh strawberry on top.
Woo.
So I know it sounds self-explanatory, but all about the cinnamon, what are you all about?
I always loved to bake, so I was like, I'm just gonna bake cinnamon rolls. And my husband and my son was like, what are you talking about? Because I'm just a bartender, just a bartender.
really?
Yeah. So for a few years, like I bartended every day till 3, 4 in the morning, and then woke up the next morning and did a new recipe. It was like, this works, this doesn't. We got like a couple wholesale accounts and I had no idea what we were doing. No clue. We always wanted to make a cinnamon roll that if we didn't give it to our own family, didn't give it to our son, we didn't give it to anybody else. So it's just like really good ingredients, brown sugar, cinnamon, lots of butter. We make the dough the night before, we ferment it overnight. It's better for your gut. Freshly baked, always warm, lots of love. And then the brand kind of followed along with it, the whole hip hop idea.
Also with a crazy slate of toppings that you can get.
Right.
Where did those ideas come from?
So we came up with the original one, the Big Papa. My husband named it. It's just like your bun, cream cheese icing. Next came the Fruity Pebble one, and we were like, let's name it the Lil' Kim. right? She has a music video back in the day where she switches her hair color, blue, yellow, red, green, into all these different rooms, right? And I was like, Fruity Pebbles, like that's what that looks like. So we did that, and then it kind of just took off, and we're very like creative people, so we just started adding things. And everybody was like, where's Pac? Where's the Tupac? And we were like, oh, you know, we're from the East Coast, so like we kept them very East Coast, but we realized that we were here on the West Coast, so we were like, okay, we probably should add a few rappers that are from here. So we had 2 minis on each side of the tent, and majority of them were East Coast versus West Coast, and people just loved it, which we were like, oh, we got something here, I think. Our son named the Ice Cube, which is your Oreo and like a dark chocolate drizzle. The Missy's your top seller. It's always been. It's like a strawberry shortcake crumble that we make, but it's just like that ice cream bar. Do you remember the Good Humor?
I love those.
I had to figure out how to make that crumble without calling Good Humor and being like, hey, can you send me some crumbs?
Yeah.
You know, we do that one with fresh strawberry, and people, they drive hours for that one. Yeah.
This is one of those foods that I'm like, how do I approach? Because it's too perfect to disassemble, but a cinnamon roll, you kind of just got to get in there, right? I think I got the tail here, using the fork to assist.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Cheers. That is, whoa. I'm shocked how good that is.
That's insanely good.
Okay, so like the smell kind of threw me off. It was like strawberry on a cinnamon roll. Like,
Cinnamon is not a usual accompaniment for strawberry. Apple and cinnamon, sure.
that's a good pairing.
Strawberry and cinnamon.
This is not fall, this is summer.
The cream cheese frosting is great because it's tart, and the strawberry is just like a little extra tart.
I
So
see.
in that way, I think it's definitely working.
I just realized this is like frozen yogurt. I always get the strawberries. 'Cause I always choose them, but I don't think about choosing them. I just like, oh, I should get them.
It's a popular fruit.
Yeah.
This is a super good cinnamon roll. Like the base of this cinnamon roll is so good.
Oh!
Dude, okay. The bottom is almost more satisfying than the top. Look at that. It's crispy down there. Adam, do you want to get in here?
I gotta ask about the gluten-free.
Yeah. So halfway into this, I found out that I was celiac, and I feel like that was probably the last thing that I needed. So yeah, so I developed this gluten-free. It took me like 2 years. Every time I did it, it tasted very dry. It would fall apart, it would crumble. I couldn't get it gooey. I needed it to be the way the regular cinnamon roll was, because I missed it.
Yeah.
And I really like the icing, so I was like, I need to come up with something that I can put this icing on so that I can eat the icing, because I can't keep eating the icing with a spoon. You know, that's not normal. So there's no yeast, so it doesn't need to rise. It's more of like a biscuit texture than like a bread. I feel like when you try to go along the lines of a bread, gluten-free anything, it never works out well. And I'm not an expert in the gluten-free baking. I can do like a few things really well, and I'm okay with that, you know, because they're the few things that I like, so.
I think that makes you an expert.
I'll take it.
Yeah. Okay, so we have to try one in the gluten-free form.
Absolutely. My favorite is the Little Kim. Fruity Pebbles on top, and then fresh strawberry gets sliced on top of the Fruity Pebbles. Kind of enhances the fruity part of the pebbles.
Here we have the gluten-free roll, and I'm not gonna lie, this is the one I really wanted to try because I'm just curious. I'm just curious how you do it.
You want to unravel this one for us?
Yes.
While we unravel the mystery.
Oh, sorry, I just forgot how nice the warm frosting feels on my fingers. Sorry, that was, oh my goodness.
Ooh, look at that. Cheers, Steven.
Cheers.
How?
Yeah. What? Kind of has the qualities of a cake donut.
Yeah, like an old-fashioned donut. It's definitely different, but it's really good in its own way.
Yeah.
And you still have the caramelized bottom. I'm stunned that this is gluten-free.
Yeah. Texturally speaking, it's different. Taste-wise, as good, if not better for me.
If I didn't know, I would not guess this was gluten-free. How do you feel about the little Kim aspect of it?
You know, should have eaten more Fruity Pebbles growing up. I was eating Wheaties. What was I doing? This was an option?
Well, fundamentally different cereals.
I got influenced by the athletes they put on the box.
The succeeding in sports aspect.
Didn't work.
Hey, you said it. More so than the flavor, the cereal really adds a texture that you're missing with cinnamon rolls typically. I mean, what else would hold up amongst all that other stuff and still have that crunch?
Well, you could have like those like circular puffs that.
So a different kind of cereal?
Oh, sorry, you're talking about what?
Cereal is also just fun. And Fruity Pebbles might be like one of the funnest cereals.
It is a hilarious concept for a cereal, like Fruity Smooth Rocks.
Fruity Pebbles, yeah. I think I got the appetite for one more. Lastly, the staff favorite, the Outcast. I'd love to try that.
The Outcast, which is our OG bun, and then we stuff it with either strawberry or grape jelly that we make here. Half of us is grape, the other half is strawberry.
Where do you fall on that?
I fall in grape because I grew up with grape.
Let's go grape.
Okay.
Yeah.
We drizzle with peanut butter, and then it gets a crushed peanut on top. So it's like a little texture.
Big Boy or Andre 3000?
Can you ask somebody that?
Okay.
Whoa!
This
smell.
Yeah. PB&J.
PB&J.
You have strong feelings about PB&J. I know this.
They're just the perfect snack.
A snack,
Yeah.
not a meal,
No.
not a sandwich.
No.
Not talking about practice.
This is the kind of thing that if my baby wakes me up at midnight, when he was an infant, I'd put him in the carrier and I'd be eating the PB&J, and my wife would always know the next day because she would find the crumbs of the bread on his head. I just don't know how this is gonna go.
Yeah.
Man, this is the most like luscious food.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's super good. You know what it is? You're getting the full PB&J flavor, but the texture of the cinnamon roll, it has that soft sandwich feel, but there's no like mouth sticking peanut butter aspect. It feels like I took a bite of a big soft PB&J,
Yes.
but I'm not getting like, you know, gummed up with too much PB.
It's a bit dangerous because like it's almost as if you don't have any crust on your PB&J. You're just eating the center pieces all the way through. And it's always a center for me that has like the most PB&J like concentrated.
Is that your best bite in a PB&J?
Yeah, so when I eat a PB&J, I go outside and then I finish it in the middle.
Oh,
I go around.
that's just like a cinnamon roll.
I guess it is. I've been doing cinnamon roll this whole time. What am I thinking? We're in Houston, Texas, baby.
H-Town, Slab City. Speaking of slabs, though.
That's right. We're headed to Bonnie's Donuts in League City, a donut shop owned by Natalie and Lee. We'll be speaking with Natalie about their famous 10-pound cinnamon roll.
It actually started as a 5-pound cinnamon roll, and they said, more. I'm dying to know what drives somebody to make such a massive cinnamon roll. What brings someone to do such a thing? Is it just for the gimmick? Or is a 10-pound cinnamon roll really as good in real life as it sounds?
Right.
Tell us a little bit about the shop. What kind of things do you offer?
So at first we only offer just like most other donut shop around, like, you know, plain old glaze and chocolate, until the business didn't do very well because this donut shop kept popping up left and right. And that's when we realized that if we're gonna keep doing what we're doing, we're not going to survive this. So that's when we started doing seasonal flavor donut. Like, you know, in the summer we do lemon, strawberry, you know, one of my very favorite right now is cronuts, the donut made out of croissant dough with the flaky layers. Actually, we did pretty good business with that until there's more donut shop around, they start doing the same thing. And so we start to have this idea like, what's new? So what else should we bring in? We start doing like birthday donut. We hand cut every letter, like things like that. But there's always other donut shop would do the same too. So we're like, okay, so what else now? This one day, one of our neighbors, it was her birthday, and that's when she came and it's like, oh my God, I'm so craving for a large cinnamon roll. and she didn't tell us how large, how big, you know. Me and my husband, we loved our neighbor, and we're like, you know what, we should make a cinnamon roll just to surprise her because it's her birthday. When we brought it for her, she was so surprised. She had a scale and she weighed it was 5 pounds exactly. So she posted the picture, and like the post went viral. It was exploded, and we had customer walk in the very same day to ask for cinnamon roll. We're like, no, that was the only one. Local news, you know, a local food influencer, they saw the post, they all started to come. That's how it get out there.
Yeah. Can you walk us through how you make the 10-pound cinnamon roll?
Yes, sir. So the 10 pound though, there was another customer, I think it was her daughter's birthday. He requested to make it extra, like, can you make it bigger than the 5 pound? At first we said no, because we didn't know if it would cook through, you know, it might be too big to cook. And he's like, he's not gonna care even if it's not cooked through, let's do it. I just want a picture, you know. And the 10 pound, you know, like use a lot of string, lots of everything, lots of cinnamon. So we have a box of 5 pounds, I think. So sometimes we use almost half of the box for per roll. I think the 10 pound is actually better for me because I think the tray that we put the 10 pound is taller, and the head, when you flip it around, it makes the cinnamon roll more moist and softer. But the smaller one, when the oven hits it, it's like too much heat. When it's so small, it gets a little bit more dry sometimes.
So this is not just a gimmick anymore. This is like a core part of you guys' business.
Yes, sir. There were one time we were on 2 of the local news TV station, and we sold like 90 something 5 pound cinnamon roll a day, Saturday. And then, yes, and one of our mixer hook broke off completely because it kept working so hard. It is definitely play a biggest part, and you know, we're still here till this day.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. Or can we ice it ourselves?
Yes, you can.
Amazing. Thank you.
Oh, we get the picture? The whole picture's for us?
Oh yeah.
We don't need all of it though, probably,
Yeah,
right?
you probably don't need all of it.
When you think 10 pounds,
Yeah.
what comes to mind?
My cat.
For me, it's when I was born. Sorry, Mom. 9 pounds, 15 ounces. So just an ounce off. Just like how I'm 6 feet tall.
God.
Oh.
I think it's a bit more.
Yeah? Can I try?
Yeah.
This is the baby check. You know what? About 10 pounds.
All right, I'm icing it.
I trust you.
Going straight down the middle.
My good. Oh, yeah. Oh. Careful. I kind of want to eat it like I would eat a normal cinnamon roll.
Tear off
Just
a swirl.
no, bite in.
No, that's not how you eat a normal cinnamon roll.
You
What, are
tear?
crazy? Go ahead.
No, you
No.
tear a piece and then
Show-
we'll eat together.
Show me how you take a bite out of 10-pound cinnamon roll.
No problem. Oh my gosh. Wait, it's so hard to get underneath it. That's good. That was a great bite.
I'm gonna tear off a kind of like a rib of cinnamon roll.
Okay. Oh, you know what? That looks good.
XL cinnamon right here. That's what it's all about.
I'm surprised how fluffy it is for how large it is. But I mean, look at that. That's
Yeah, look at
that's
that.
incredible.
You see that?
Yeah.
You don't get this kind of dimensionality with a regular cinnamon roll.
That's right. It's like the burnt ends of barbecue.
Shall we excavate the center?
I like how making a big cinnamon roll makes you use archaeological terms.
Yeah.
Oh my. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
It's like an ooey gooey brownie, but cinnamon roll.
I think let's save the center for Adam. Look at that, and then look at
Look at this,
this
look at
that
this.
you get. Hold on.
Look at these bones you're finding.
Oh, like that?
That looks so good.
Does look like a slab of brisket or something.
That's the best piece. The middle bottom. It's like cake down there. It's like a little kiddie pool. Look at this.
Wait, we can make it more kiddie pool-like.
Wow. Oh yeah.
Ready?
Oh my goodness. Now, I'm getting the outside edge. Just a toasted piece. It's like fondue.
Yeah. It's maybe more icing than I would have gone for, but
This looks incredible. The center is my favorite.
well, we're not in Texas anymore, but it is time to pick our favorite cinnamon rolls.
We started our journey in Pismo Beach at Old West Cinnamon Roll, where we ate the original cinnamon roll alongside the Nivea roll. Then we found ourselves in All About the Cinnamon, where we ate some very fun topping cinnamon rolls. And finally, our journey ended at Bonnie's Donuts in Texas, where we had the famous 10-pound cinnamon roll. So, gentlemen, which one was your favorite? Andrew?
You know, to be perfectly honest, I had my doubts about all these cinnamon rolls. I thought Old West was going to be too touristy. I thought All About the Cinnamon was going to be too gimmicky. And I thought Bonnie's was just a stunt. But they were all fantastic. Old West, $4 for the original. That is the right price for a treat like that. All About the Cinnamon. Those were expert cinnamon rolls. And the toppings actually worked. And then finally, that giant cinnamon roll, I had a blast. And it even delivered some unique features that you can only get in a cinnamon roll that massive. My favorite though was All About the Cinnamon.
Wow.
Yeah, here's what I really loved about it. Lindsay is an expert. The way she nailed that gluten-free cinnamon roll, you can tell just from that she's passionate about delivering a beautiful cinnamon roll experience.
My favorite cinnamon roll? Look, I love all of the treats at Bonnie's Donuts, but if we're talking just cinnamon roll, I gotta go with Old West cinnamon roll. And specifically, the Nivea roll. Which is crazy because I'm actually not a big like lather me up with frosting and toppings kind of guy.
Yeah.
But the flavor combination of the almonds and the cherry and the bread and the frosting is just, ugh. Adam?
This one really surprised me. The peanut butter and jelly cinnamon roll, the Outcast. Peanut butter and jelly is already kind of a dessert to me, yet I feel like peanut butter and jelly isn't actually a common dessert flavor. That grape jelly and the sprinkled crushed peanuts on top went so well with the cinnamon sugar flavor. My personal favorite is All About the Cinnamon.
My favorite thing I learned this episode was that some cinnamon rolls are inverted and some are not.
Yes, and you know what else is like that?
In Top Gun 1, when Maverick wins his dogfight by inverting and his instructor that he later falls in love with is in disbelief.